think Brexit brings, of course, major challenges to Gibraltar and the United Kingdom, as well as opening many new doors for Gibraltar and the United Kingdom. Those challenges are obvious. We're going to suffer a pole shift in the way that we organize our business lives, our personal lives. We're going to change the relationship that we have for the United Kingdom with its biggest and closest trading partner, for Gibraltar, with the continent of which we are a part. But those have been understood during the course of the referendum campaign. I think we need to move on from those challenges that we all understand and start looking at the opportunities that are likely to arise. So I think the future in terms of financial services is one that will bear analysis across the United Kingdom and with it Gibraltar. All of us have been able to trade in the single market in services and to passport into it, and the future may be slightly different. Of course, we'll be able to access the single market on the basis of equivalence in terms of financial services because of the standard of regulation, but there may be opportunities also in changing the types of regulation that apply in the United Kingdom and Gibraltar in financial services, ensuring the protection of consumers is as tight as it needs to be, but perhaps not being bound as tightly by rules relating to state aid, etc., and having the freedom without having to look over our shoulders to continue to set our tax rates in keeping with international standards, but not being so bound in by what it is that the rest of the civil law European nations might want to do that don't really understand and fit in well with the Anglo-Saxon common law styles that we have. And I think that does create opportunities. Just to give you a physical manifestation of what is relevant in Gibraltar and how this might give us a guide to what might happen more metaphysically in terms of financial services, the only place that a British citizen is assured that they will be able to establish themselves in residential terms in the future in the European continent and in the European sun in the future is, of course, Gibraltar. And so in the context of our discussions with the British government through the JMC-GEN, the Gibraltar Exiting the European Union Joint Ministerial Council that has been established, the important points that the United Kingdom has understood are for Gibraltar's future in relation to having access to the single market or access to such free trade agreements as the United Kingdom may do with the European Union in some differentiated way, as is the case today if necessary, but of course all of that will depend on what the final deal is, because as you know, even today Gibraltar has a differentiated deal in terms of the United Kingdom's accession to the European Union in 1973. We don't have the application to us of the freedom of movement of goods because of Gibraltar's status in the old days as a free port. And all of that, I think, is what the future is pointing to. I am very confident indeed that the United Kingdom understands the issues that we're putting to them and that we're not going to be let down, and that there isn't a 5-minute to midnight opportunity for Spain to somehow throw a spanner in the works to try and keep Gibraltar out of any arrangements that the United Kingdom might do going forward. That would not be in anybody's interest, not least in the interest of the 10,000 people who live in Spain, many of them, if not most of them, Spaniards, and who come to Gibraltar every day to work and earn their living and take their wages back into this area of southern Spain, adjacent to Gibraltar, which is the most battered with unemployment in the whole of Spain.